Welcome to the DeeCee show, and today we have an exciting topic lined up for all cricket enthusiasts. We are diving into the Chiripal Cricket Premier League, an incredible initiative organized by passionate and sports-loving people, Ronak Chiripal, Kirat Damani and their teams. Stay right here as we start the conversation with two gentlemen and our special guests to explore how this league is making a significant impact on local cricket. And I would want the two guests to introduce themselves, starting with you, Ronak.
Hi, I'm Ronak Chiripal,
Yes.
promoter of Chiripal Group, and now actively involved with the Cricket Premier League and really looking forward for the tournament.
Yes.
Hi, I'm Kirat Damani. I'm a lawyer by profession, but I'm a former national cricketer. I used to captain the Gujarat Ranji Trophy team, and presently I'm the chairman of the selection committee of the Gujarat Ranji Trophy, and I represent Gujarat in the BCCI selections. And I'm broadly involved in the Cricket Administration Committee that advises the Gujarat cricket structuring and the operation of the game in the state.
How nice. Talking about directly to the idea of starting the idea of Chiripal Cricket Premier League, what exactly is happening? Why are we starting this?
So, see, being born and brought up in Gujarat, the family has been in Gujarat for almost 51, 52 years now.
Yeah.
And being a sports enthusiast, myself, the family thought, like I spoke to the family and we thought, why not create a platform to kind of give these players, the cricketers from Gujarat who are representing Gujarat, some kind of an exposure. And there are a lot of tournaments, a lot of leagues, like for example, IPL is the biggest league in the world.
Yeah.
So we thought, and we've seen a lot of cricketers coming out of Gujarat, playing for IPL, playing for India. So we thought, why not create a platform for these cricketers? We have a lot of homegrown heroes who probably are being trained really well with GCA, but probably not being exposed to a lot of things like such tournaments. So the idea was to actually just provide this tournament where there are nerves involved, there's a lot of excitement, a lot of adrenaline rush, a lot of fans coming to the ground, playing under the lights, using the best of the cricket equipments, and just let these players play their game in such a format. So the idea was that, and we wanted to do it from our foundation because we really thought that this could be a very good initiative, probably something which is more satisfying for the group as well. And that's how the idea started panning out. And then we spoke to people at GCA, and they were, as always, they were very nice, and they kind of gave approval to their players to play. Then we spoke to Mr. Kirat Damani. He's the chief selector of Gujarat Ranji team. And we spoke to him about how can we collaborate, and he agreed to come on board as a mentor. And we are getting a lot of good guidelines. The players are playing as if they are being watched, which is actually happening. He's coming to see the match. There are a few selectors who are coming to see the games. So it's a very good kind of a combination, I would say, from corporates and from the cricket field as well. And there are the Chiripal Foundation is organizing it, but of course we have got different corporates supporting this initiative. So we've got six different corporates who are owning teams.
Sure.
So the idea is also to kind of these corporates, to see how these corporates can bring in their flavor to this tournament, like them kind of trying to follow cricket, now trying to even become fans, and they are actually automatically becoming fans of the captains, vice captains, the players who are performing in their teams. We are seeing how they are actually spreading the message in their group. So the ultimate idea is also that these domestic tournaments, probably which are being watched a little less right now, kind of making them popular by making these players popular, so that the domestic tournaments get a lot of following, and these cricketers get a lot of kind of a motivation to even perform better.
Yeah. Correct.
I think just to build upon what Ronak rightly said is we have got a beautiful amalgamation of an intent of a corporate, which is getting executed by the academicness of the cricketers coming in from the Gujarat Cricket Association. When he refers to GCA, that refers to Gujarat Cricket Association, And all the players, around 90 players, have been segregated in 6 teams, 15 each. And all these 90 players are the registered players of Gujarat Cricket Association with the BCCI. So every state association is expected to register their domestic players with the BCCI for all the national tournaments. So all the players who are participating in this tournament are the regular cricketers who get up every morning to pick up their kit bags and go to the ground, spend maybe 4 to 6 hours through the year, every day on the ground, play games all around the country wherever they are expected to during the year. So they are the ones who are making cricket as their career, who are giving everything that they have. And therefore, where such intent is kind of backed up by the real life cricketers, they are not the corporates who are just playing for fun.
Yeah.
It's not an off-site cricket tournament where the corporates take their employees for an off-site and spend money for their welfare and betterment and whatnot. This is like the players playing are probably putting everything on stake in their life
It's a
to
serious
become
affair.
cricketers.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
so
yeah.
from my greed point of view, as the selector of the Ranji Trophy, I may say, or the Gujarat Cricket Association, is that my boys are getting a very important tournament to play.
Correct.
While they are getting an important tournament to play competitively, it also gives me and my selection committee. You know, we have a 6-man selection committee that that picks the state team. So this tournament, we have deployed 2 selectors for every match, and we are trying to assess the boys of how they are on the ground, which also gives them an outside opportunity of being seen to showcase their talent, because an upcoming cricketer, we are talking about 90 cricketers, mind.
Correct.
You know, when a state cricket team is picked, you can only pick 15 people for a squad, maybe 5 as a standby, so 20 tops. We are getting 90 to play at a time, which means that even someone who has not probably been in the limelight, scoring a beautiful small inning, a match-winning inning, will completely change the perspective of the way people look at them.
Correct.
We all get moments in life where we transform. And we are only hoping that there are a couple of transforming moments where we as selectors get those players that we can probably bank upon and build upon and invest time in. And they get that platform where they are able to express their talent. In life, in all spheres, including you and I, we all need the right platform to express our deserving or deserved know-how.
Yeah.
What we know, I mean, it doesn't really make sense if we knew so much and we just spoke to an undeserved place.
Yeah.
But when we are able to express that at the right time in the right place, you know, this is what it turns out to be, where these cricketers at the right time and right time in their careers and right place, being us state selectors watching it while they creating a format, because what IPL has done beautifully, it has set up a beautiful precedent of, even you want to form a cricket tournament, it's pretty easy. It's kind of pick, because there are BCCI rules, there are ICC rules, and then there is the way IPL format of how many games each team gets to play, how many points you get to win, how many points you get to lose for a tie, and how the net run rate counts, and who goes to the eliminators, qualifiers, and the finals. So the broad structure is very beautifully precedented.
Yeah.
And if anybody had the right intent, how Ronak has, to put it in perspective, you know, you only have to gather a few things to pile up a beautiful tournament like this. But
I'm sure.
I must say that you know, it's come up at the time for us because our cricket season starts in 3 months. So this tournament sets us up by seeing the players, because then from here on we usually go into the off-season training, skill management, fitness management for the next 6 weeks, and then we start preparing for the actual season that starts in September, October. So this is a beautiful timing in the year for our boys to get this tournament for us. And I think coming back to the point of amalgamation of intent and execution, you know, it's a great great merger that we have found, and it seems that we're gonna be benefiting beautifully out of this. The players are gonna benefit really well. The association is going to benefit a lot because we'll get a tournament like this, and I think it's gonna go a long way if it. If it sure will, but when it sustains for the next few years.
Also, just wanted to know, because this is happening for the first time and something like this is happening for the first time in Gujarat, and of course IPL is being the biggest player in it. So I just wanted to know, were there any challenges for you guys to have team owners coming in or something like that, or was it okay, or people came in very motivatingly that we would want to come for something like this, we would want to own a team, or how was it?
So I think from that perspective, honestly, we did not have a lot of challenge.
Yeah.
Because IPL is a set format.
Yeah.
People have seen how IPL has grown from 2007-8 till here, and and luckily cricket is a sport which is more like a religion in the country.
Exactly.
So it did not take any convincing to do.
Yeah.
To talk to the team owners about why cricket or what. So and again, these team owners again, they're not doing it to get any benefit out of it.
Absolutely.
They're honestly doing it to live that journey of owning a team, to witnessing good cricket, to seeing all these talented cricketers play for their team. I think there's nothing more satisfying than that. And I think, of course, everyone comes to win, but I think from the owner's perspective, I would say it is more of wanting to give that push to the tournament. So I don't think it was challenging, and of course, I also spoke to my very dear friend Gaurav, who is also a founder with me in this, and he also agreed to be a part of it. So I think from that perspective, I don't think we faced any kind of a challenge, and we got full support from the association as well, and we're still getting that support. So I think for us, it was just to focus on right cricket, right execution, not compromising on anything related to cricket, of course. So that was the idea, and with Gujarat Cricket Association, being there to kind of help us or monitor us, that automatically is taken care of. So I think, as he said, the amalgamation of the right intent and the right purpose kind of played well for us.
Also the right association, I think GCA got involved, and that became all the more genuine for all of these owners also to come on board, that it's a thrill that you have a team and you're going out to watch and cheer for them and take this ahead. So Gujarat is that particular state now. It's been like that, but then it's consistently working on becoming the sports hub as well. We just finished Super League, football Super League, and right now we're doing this. What do you have to say about that? How are we contributing in the idea of becoming that sports hub as well?
Very, very fine point you touched upon, and I think it's pretty ratified by the fact that today's BCCI secretary is from Gujarat, Mr. Jai Shah, and his vision has exponentially raised the bar of cricket in the country as well. The way IPL is played, the amount of revenue that we make as a BCCI, as an association, through the following of the fans, not the cost of the fans, but it's coming through the rights of TV and media in various ways, and it effectively is spent on creating infrastructure in the country.
Correct.
So now there is, I'll come on the blanket first before coming to Gujarat of what beautifully is happening with the cricket as a whole in the country, because the BCCI, which is the Board for Cricket of Control in India, it operates and regulates cricket in the country, and it provides with a certain amount of money to every state association now for the well-being, infrastructure, and the facilities that the state association can provide to their players. So it's no more a disparity situation wherein certain worthy and wealthy privileged states from the past who had their own resources and therefore only created international cricketers from those states. Now the uniformity of the money and the infrastructure being provided by the BCCI broadly is so beautifully done, including the women's cricket. If you know that even the women cricket is paid equal money as men, which is a brilliant initiative that Jai Bhai has taken. And I think with that scenario, Gujarat therefore is a very collaterally benefited state. Where your genetical intent is withheld so beautifully that when you are already operating the country's affairs for cricket, it's very natural and easy and organic to at least have the right things in place at the state. Now we have the biggest stadium in the world, which is itself a great credit to the association today, a 1.2 lakhs capacity stadium with such beautiful, spectacular lighting, And at the bank of the river, it's unbelievable. It's gorgeous. If you see the way it's been made, the facilities of players, indoor nets, gyms, pools, dressing rooms, it's like none in the world.
Yeah.
The sizes, the scale, the infrastructure within, the turf, the grass, the wickets, and the way it's managed. So I think overall there is a very strong intent. And while you talk about sport, we may also get the Olympics. Who knows? But which means that we are an evolved society, Deepali, because things like art and sport, okay, we have to see that as a society, as a state, we have evolved to come to a point wherein we were always very profound business entrepreneurial state. But now with the wholesome development, we are able to perceive things in their right form, because we are able to allow our children today. We have the guts to tell our children that don't just go, even the women or the girls for that matter, don't just go become a doctor, engineer or a lawyer to make those MBA careers. If you like to play sport, go express it. Even the girls, if you see the way they play on the ground, you'll be astonished to see the body language, the way they play the sport. Because as an evolved society, as families, we want the right upbringing of our children. And what sports bring in your psyche, in your character, in your discipline. You can't win every day. You still have to get up every day and go out and fight it. Nobody can guarantee scoring 100 every day. You'll get 3 zeros in 3 matches, but you still have to wake up, go out, work hard and get that 100. Not every day is right, because the competition is so immense that you may work 3 years without even getting a chance to play a game. But then you don't give up. And these are the things which effectively, eventually, matters to us in life. And that is, I'm trying to kind of consolidate my thought process to your question of the sport in Gujarat, sport in the state. It's not just the infrastructure. I think it's the right perspective, right mindset that we guys have as sport as well in the city and the state, which is backed up beautifully by the present green and purple patch, if you may say that we are going as Gujaratis in every sphere, may it be industries, politics, sports, everything that we are going through as a state is a purple patch. And as they say, make hay while the sun shines. This is the time we have to make most of it. People like him have to raise their hand and say, okay, we are doing so well by virtue of what the state economy is providing them to be so successful monetarily. And might as well the CSR does something to really contribute right at the grassroots level, because these boys who are playing, maybe more than 50% are not coming from the privileged background. More than 50% of them have not really played such quality of cricket. And this is coming out from all the interiors of the state. So this allows us an opportunity of keeping these 90 odd cricketers at one place in all equity and justice, that everyone is treated the same. Even someone who is a present India A captain, who is part of Gujarat team, a present Ranji Trophy captain, or present whatever cricket he may be playing, and maybe playing with somebody who has never played for the state yet.
Exactly.
So that equity, that non-disparity of you, for example, sharing a dressing room with Oprah Winfrey. Imagine that you get to spend 6 hours with her. Imagine the kind of the great work that you are doing already. If you get to be with Oprah Winfrey.
Good learning lessons.
So like how the IPL boys get all the international cricketers to be part of the dressing room. Ricky Ponting, Brian Lara comes in, all the former international players like Gangulis, and the world captains like Pat Cummins, David Warners, they come and play with our boys. Now that discipline, that work ethic, that exposure, that way of preparing yourself, that exposure coming offhand handy in the dressing room. Likewise, these small town boys, when they get to play with the top-notch Gujarat state boys, they're going to take back a lot of things in these 12 days.
Correct.
When they go back after this tournament, they would have shared the dressing room with the boys. They would have learned of how to prepare yourself for the game. They would have seen that how would they have reacted in a not so pleasant situation when the team is losing, and they would have played some knocks of how a great player reacts to a situation to get the team out of the dearth. Those learnings are invaluable. No books can give you, no academics can give you, no videos can give you. Being live there, out there in the pond, it's something which is invaluable and which is a lot of collateral benefits than just getting to play a glamorous tournament.
Correct.
You know, where we don't actually keep any glamour on the field. We said no cheer girls and no extra money and no freebies, and let them focus on the game.
Sure.
As simple as that.
Yeah.
You know, no auctions.
Yeah.
You know, no pollution of money coming in to kind of pollute their psyche.
Yeah.
You know, that was a very clear-cut instruction that I had. Only because only then I would have been happy to be part of it, or my boys would have played. And fortunately, he had the same mindset. You know, why I call it amalgamation is that when the way you look at things also are similar,
Yeah.
it allows you to kind of build upon and enhance and grow upon and get the right results without having a conflict of ideas.
Correct. So we were basically talking right now about how these cricketers are also getting into the role of leadership, be it captains, vice captains. So what is the kind of exposure are they going to take home? Are like how we spoke that they're learning something, but what on the side of leadership also, because they've been playing solo for a lot of matches. So the idea of leadership, like some light on that also.
So if I may say that there are 6 teams.
Yeah.
So 6 teams should have 6 captains.
Sure.
And 6 vice captains, 6 coaches and 6 assistant coaches.
Yeah.
The 2 most important characters in any team game are the captain and the coach. Okay. A captain and the coach need to know the strength and the weaknesses of the teams.
Correct.
They have to study the balance of the team, that who at what position do well. So those exercises, so we get 6 captains now who we are witnessing of how they are handling their teams, how they are making decisions in what situations. You know, when a situation or unexpected situation arises, you change your plan immediately. You know, so it's like you're driving the car and you don't know, and you're going at 70 and suddenly a cow comes in and you decide to brake and deviate. If you're going at the speed of 30, you will short brake. If you're going at 80, you won't do that. You will deviate, otherwise you'll tumble over.
Yeah.
So the decision making, which is very spontaneous.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's something which a leadership role expects you on the field, because match may not just turn out to be the way you expected, because opponents are also coming in heavy on you. And if your main bowler, for example, goes for runs, then as a leader, we would like to see as selectors that how does he tackle the situation. So now we are getting 6 captains and 6 vice captains and coaches who we can collectively look at, and it's going to help them for sure, because the best way, as they say, to learn is to teach. If you want to learn something, start teaching that, because you have to prepare for it.
Sure.
So if those captains expect their team to play in a way, they'll have to start playing themselves first that way. You know, so that leadership model will bring out more accountability. You know, any leadership role, first of all, brings a lot of accountability on table.
Yeah.
Because you have to first practice what you preach. You can't abuse in your own house and expect your kid not to. You know, you can't be abusive in language, body language, and your mannerism, and then expect your kid to not do it. So first of all, you'll have to do it yourself.
Yeah.
And likewise, when a leader is expecting his team to be in certain decorum both on and off the field, first of all, he'll have to get his shit together. You know, so he has to now be accountable for what he does.
Yeah.
And it allows us to see of how they handle players and handle situations by their decision making.
Correct.
So not only they will become better players, but we will find better captains.
Yeah. Yeah. When we talk about learning in exposure, I also wanted to know, CPL at this point, we are right now only focusing on matches and stuff. What is the future idea? What is the vision of CPL in the coming time?
So, of course, we'll have more seasons of the same tournament.
Exactly.
But other than, outside the tournament, what we also want to bring in is things like financial literacy to these players. We've seen these cricketers, when they perform well, they get an opportunity to, play in IPL, Indian team. They get a lot of money as well. They become rich, and not everyone knows how to utilize that money.
Yeah.
So, we also spoke about how we can actually, being from the corporate side, how we can bring in some kind of a mentorship program for these 90-95 cricketers, where we can have a couple of sessions dedicated to financial literacy, a couple of sessions dedicated to sports psychology, about sports fitness, about injuries, about temperament control, because we see it day in day out, how these things actually impact you as a cricketer, as a human being.
Yeah.
And we've seen a lot of cricketers making and breaking their career because of these things. So we've spoken about it. So the idea is to get some kind of such programs for these cricketers, to get them exposed to such programs, and also probably give them more exposure. Like right now we are having this tournament in Ahmedabad. Maybe maybe have a tournament probably somewhere outside Gujarat, and
Yeah.
where probably the conditions are different.
Yeah.
And so of course, so these are the things which we want to eventually get into the cricket Premier League. So this is, I would not say that this is just a league which you want to promote. Of course, other than that, cricket remains the main thing, but eventually a successful cricketer also has to be a successful person. And it is very important for these cricketers to be right to be in right frame of mind, to be a good human being. So I think these things also we want to bring in when we talk to these cricketers.
Are we also going to have some change in the format wherein if we get the opportunity after IPL, that we also move into the women's team and stuff like that? Are we looking at something like that?
Yeah, why not? I think we would be more than happy to do something like that. So this is more like testing the water. We knew that this has a lot of potential in terms of providing a lot of opportunities to these cricketers. And it literally came on as an okay, we thought about it, and we spoke internally, we spoke with the association, and then things fell in place, and we're having a successful tournament so far. So of course, by the time we get done with this, probably we'll take up that conversation as well.
Yeah, like league being the front bearer of cricket here for now, are we also looking at having an academy wherein we also try and coach the upcoming or the budding or passionate young chaps for this?
So I think that is something which Gujarat Cricket Association is doing very well. So I
Yeah,
don't
of
think we
course.
want to
Get
do
into that,
because
yeah.
I think we already have a
Yeah.
body which is
Yeah.
taking care of coaching the right players, getting them on board, and but what such tournaments can do is kind of create that awareness, or probably motivation for these parents of these young kids to kind of choose cricket as a career. We've already seen in last 10-15 years a lot of people have actually started pushing sports as a career, and I think this league could just give that push, or probably just a nudge to that particular motivation, to have those parents in Gujarat to let these their kids to probably pursue their career as being a cricketer or any other sports person for that matter. And I think that is the intent, that is what we want to do, create that awareness. Like right now, if you see 20 years ago, people used to see Sachin or probably Ganguly or Rahul Dravid and probably get motivated. Now, of course, Virat Kohli and even likes of Rinku Singh, Rahul Dravid, and all these players are getting a lot of attention. So the idea is there are a lot of cricketers of Gujarat who are so talented, like Urvil Patel, Umang Kumar, Priyank Panchal, Arya Desai. So these cricketers, when they play such leagues and when people actually follow them on YouTube or on Crick Heroes where the league is being streamed, they come to the ground and to watch these matches. They kind of become emotionally involved with these players and start watching their games. So even when they are playing a Syed Mushtaq Ali or Ranji Trophy, these kids or these people would probably watch their games, watch their performance. So, and probably the idea behind that is that when they watch it, they would probably get inspired to become the next Priyank Panchal or the next Arya Desai for Gujarat.
Correct.
So I think this league would definitely, the idea was to kind of create that push for cricket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. How nice. One last question I wanted to ask was, how has been the response? We're not halfway through, but then we've just begun. So how is the response coming from Ahmedabad for now, and how is it creating the noise, being the first edition?
So the response has been very good. I think from cricketing perspective, I think Mr. Kirat can say better because he interacts with the players and the coaches on a regular basis. But from what I am witnessing is that we are getting people to watch the match, not just the people who are relatives or friends of the team owners
Correct.
or the cricketers.
Yeah.
There are people who are just cricket fans who are coming to watch the match. We saw an amazing opening ceremony. We've already witnessed three games, out of which I think a few of them were very tight and went to a close encounter. So I think we're seeing a lot of good response from the people of Ahmedabad, the people of Gujarat. We've got a lot of views on YouTube, Crick Heroes, a lot of followers on our social media as well. They're asking questions as to when is the next match and all those things. So we can see that keen interest from the cricket fans, and that was the idea of doing this. But I think from cricket perspective, I think he can throw better light.
I think overall the players are really pumped up. If I may, end of the day, we try and see and care of how people think, but cricketers don't come to entertain people. In process, they end up entertaining. These are careers, and in life, anything we do, we should never derail from the purpose of why we do something. And for us, what matters is when the cricketers go out and play cricket, the kind of cricket they are playing today, they are very happy with the fact that they are playing extremely competitive cricket. The feedbacks, the responses of the players and the management and the people involved in the game is way more important than anybody else, because end of the day they are the ones who are putting their life and stake on careers on stake, basis which everything functions. So if you see that when we have millions and millions of dollars being made out of cricket, if you remove Virat Kohli, it's end of the day it's the cricketers who make the scenario, and therefore their involvement in the game and their awareness of their game, of why they are doing, the feedbacks have been brilliant. And to build upon what he was saying about how we are perceiving this going forward, and building upon the feedback point of view, is that we have got a board created, which is going to decide on the health and hygiene of this entire exercise that we are creating of this Cricket Premier League. One, in life, no matter how, it doesn't matter of how fast you do well things, you got to make sure that you don't do wrong things. You eliminate the wrongs. Once you decide the direction of going about something, it doesn't matter if you start slow. At some point you will build up the momentum and you will probably push. But if you derail and if you just go on a direction which is not the one that you wanted to go, it's very difficult to make up for that. So we want to make sure that the very intent for which it started, going forward, definitely women's cricket is on mind. Absolutely, yes. Health and hygiene, mental awareness of the players, because they come to a cusp in life wherein they don't know whether they should give everything to the sport. There is no guarantee of survival and livelihood, because there can only be so many players who can play IPL or the country. And in this country of 30 plus states, where cricket is a religion, right from school cricket, even if you go to under 16 school, a St. Xavier school or a Diwan Ballubhai school or a Vidyanagar High School, even at under 16 level, there are wicket keepers, for example. If you drop 2 catches in a match, there are 3 wicket keepers ready in the school cricket tournament. Forget state. The number of boys playing or number of sports person that we have playing cricket is so huge. The competition is so immense that it actually is hurting the psyche of these boys or the cricketers or the sportsmen or women. So our intent simultaneously is to also impart the larger awareness of not getting insecure or too bogged down with the expectations, pressures, performances that really change them as humans. Because you come to a point where you ask at 20, you ask a question, it's very difficult to ask money from your parents, and then you don't have a job because you are putting all your time into becoming a sportsman, and then there is no guarantee whether you're going to become one. That is going to be good enough to survive your family in the times to come. it's a very peculiar, it's a very, very difficult situation that a sports person goes through for those 2-3 years. And the way he handles or she handles oneself in those difficult times, it's like life. Every time we come to a transformatory situation in life, there are always cusps. How we hold ourselves in those situations makes or breaks us.
Correct.
You know, in a normal routine way, we are okay. But when there are times which are not pleasant, which are unexpected, which are more difficult in terms of its nature and decision making, how we hold ourselves in those times is what makes us from there on. And that exactly applies to these cricketers when they come to the age of 19, 20, 21.
Correct.
You know, when they have passed that age of being reliant on their parents, you know, and they have to start looking at themselves. So the larger point of view will be that, of course, cricket will always be the focus, but cricketers and their well-being outside the game, and well-being can only come in life out of awareness.
Correct.
No matter how we try to be fine with ourselves or our children or our family, we can only truly be in the state of well-being when we are truly aware of who we are and why we are. And that awareness, you know, of sport related with life, when we are going to impart eventually with this, using this platform, you know, to really come in handy overall. You can't just help somebody very, inadequately or conveniently. If you really want to bring value, you need to do a 360-degree hand holding or support. You can't very conveniently choose to do something very, very minusculely. You have to look at it wholesomely.
Yeah.
And our intent eventually is to wholesomely affect or be part of their psyche and awareness so that they come out champions, not just on the field, but off the field too.
Sure.
Because we've all come to a point, you know, in the modern world that our mental well-being needs to be all the time in the right frame, and that can never ever in any sphere of life, even for you and I, it can never be in that state if we are not truly aware. And that is going to be, you know, our long-term intent.
But I am so glad there's a conversation that's coming of mental well-being, whereas we see the cricketers at this point also. I mean, of course, they are given sports psychologists and everything, but the kind of, you know, attacks, be it positive or negative, that they go through on social media is crazy. So by the time these people reach that level, they are supposed to get practice, they're supposed to get that kind of coaching in their head that even if you become this big, and if you become this big, this is going to come to you. And you know, all of this is going to make it happen. I'm so glad that, you know, we're working already on it from the foundational point of view, and that's really, really amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you so very much for all your time. I would just want the two of you to say, do watch CPL on this particular streaming platforms, and come watch at SGVP Grounds till 2nd of June.
Do watch Cricket Premier League T20 2024 on Crick Heroes and YouTube, and please do come to SGVP Grounds. The tournament has already begun. The finals is on 2nd of June. I am expecting all of you there. Thank you.
The Cricket Premier League T20 for 2024 of our own Gujarati boys. Follow your own Gujarati boys on Crick Heroes and live streaming on YouTube. Know them better. Come support them on the ground. Follow them on the social media. These are the ones who are going to make it to the Indian team tomorrow in IPL. So start following them now instead of waiting for later.
Thank you so very, very much.